Welcome to Fifth Element Criminal Investigation. I am here to do an oracle investigation on a bus driver killing in Atlanta, Georgia. Well, Decatur, Georgia. Okay? This killing of a bus driver, I'm going to light my zodiac candle because when I light my candle, I send a smoke signal out to the ether and all the planetary forces, tuning them in to my frequency so that way I can get information, okay? Making sure they hear me, okay? We're going to build up the energy of the crime that took place, all right? I have created birth charts for times and of the actual crime and a birth chart for today, okay? Because we are looking for answers from where we are, and we are in January 5th, 2025, okay? The crime in question happened on January 3rd, 2025 at the MARTA bus station, Decatur station. Okay, the bus driver was shot and killed, Mr. Leroy Ramos. Okay, I'm going to put his picture up. 47-year-old Leroy Ramos. Okay, he was killed at Swanton Way Bus Circle on January 3rd, 2025. That was a Friday evening. Okay, this crime involved three suspects whom were all juveniles, two who are now in custody, and one at large. Okay, this crime, this shooting began as a fare evasion and escalated into physical confrontation. Okay, I did some research. I was looking on social media and Google and YouTube, and I was doing my research on Mr. Leroy Ramos, just tapping into the overall energy of who we're talking about, the location of the crime, exactly what happened, and all of that. And also keep in mind, this was due to a fare, a $2.50 bus fare dispute. Okay, $2.50. Okay, these juveniles are off the chain here in Atlanta. Let me tell you, me being here about 30 years, I know. So, it is a sad situation. We don't know the truth. So I'm not going to make too many judgments on it. I do know anything that involves a killing is a sad situation. Whether people are guilty or innocent, killing is always a sad situation. Okay, no matter who's involved, the killer and the victim. Okay, it's both just a sad situation, and both parties need prayer. Okay, so while researching on Facebook, I came across a status of somebody who had a little more information about what happened that day and what led up to the shooting than what I have researched, okay, and what is on public display. So I read that one of the upon confronting this fare evasion, meaning quite, the guys tried to get, I don't know if it was guys or girls, but the juveniles tried to get on the bus without paying the fare. That's pretty much fare evasion. And I'm quite sure the bus driver confronted that situation. And it was said that one of the juveniles spit in Leroy Ramos's face. That is an ultimate violation as a human being, from one human being to another. You don't spit in nobody's face. Okay? Um, so of course it led to a physical confrontation. If somebody comes and spit in your face, I'm quite sure it's gonna get pretty confrontational, okay? Pretty physical, and this situation has escalated into violence and killing, okay? So what I'm going to do, this is all the information I have. You know, I was looking at his pictures, tuning into, you know, the vibrations that I pick up on. You know, I also pulled a birth chart for January 3rd, 2025. And to give you the, pretty much the overall astrological weather that day, the energetic weather that day, the sun was in Capricorn and is still in Capricorn, and the moon was in Pisces. Right now, the moon has moved into Aries, okay? But the moon was in Pisces that day. Pisces moon is a very laid back moon. It's a very chill moon. Um, you know, Everybody's pretty much in solitude mode. People who are suffer from addictions, they are pretty much, in their zone. Everybody's kind of zoned out during a moon in Pisces. Everybody's in dreamland. Everybody's in reflection mode, getting prepared for the moon in Aries, which the moon went into Aries this afternoon, today, January 5th. Okay. So we left the meditation mode. You know, Pisces moon is all about compassion, letting go, surrender, learning the lessons, reevaluating situations so you can come to the conclusion of being able to let things go. You come to serenity, being able to, after you done went through the process of changing what you can and accepting what you cannot change, Pisces moon will bring you to the level where you will understand the difference. Okay. And a lot of times that difference is simply just understanding that, there are things that can change, and whatever doesn't change is designed to change you. Okay. Um, so, there was a lot of travels going on that day because Mercury was in Sagittarius. I don't know any of the energies or zodiac signs of the people involved, but I do know how to contact their energy and locate where they may be, using the evidence that I have already. Okay. So I'm so glad that you tuned in, so that way we can all witness the magic raw and uncut. Okay. Now, Venus was also in Pisces. Okay. Mars was in Leo. So, it was pretty uh, dramatic. There may have been some situations that it went down while the Mars was in Leo, because Mars has been in Leo for a minute. So with the moon in Pisces there, I'm quite sure that it was a time where, people started reflecting on a lot of drama that they done got themselves into within this past month while the Mars was in Leo. Pisces moon gave us all a chance to reflect on situations and circumstances. Some people made it to that level of serenity and some people haven't. Okay, so right now we're going to pull a card. This is a gateway card that's going to let us know what door opened up for Mr. Leroy Ramos to get killed. He was a bus driver. He moved his family down here to Atlanta from New York about 2 months ago. He's been riding for MARTA, bus driver. That's such a sad situation for him and his family, and also for the killers. But we're going to locate this person that's at large. Okay? So, I'm going to shuffle this deck one more time. I am tuned in to the spirits. Okay? I am tuned into the spirits, and I'm tuned into the planets. Okay? I'm tuned into where the planets were located on that day, and we're going to pull some cards. Now, the first gateway card that was pulled, and it was pulled in reverse, was Cancer energy in the third. I'm sorry. The first meaning that came to my head was the person was trying to get home, but they couldn't. This was about them not being able to get home because it came out in reverse. You know, if it would have came in upright, this card would represent trying to get home on public transportation, because the third house is the house of public transportation. Attached to this video, I have a tutorial in the link below, where you can go and you can look up any symbol on any of my cards. It is a time-stamped tutorial. Okay, so that way you don't think I'm just talking shit. I want you to witness the magic raw and uncut. So go to my tutorial video whenever you like, and you can go and research every card that you will see pulled during this reading, and you can research any symbol that you see on any of these cards, so you can see how I formulate my stories. Okay, so this gateway card right here is the public transportation card. Cancer energy is all about going home when it's in the third house. Okay, so apparently the suspects were trying to get home. Okay, and they couldn't. Okay, because it came out in reverse. All right, now when Cancer is rising, when Cancer is in the third house, Taurus is rising. Okay, there were no planets in Cancer that day. Okay, however, Cancer, the moon rules Cancer, and the moon was in Pisces. Okay, so this was a very super sensitive moment. Okay, the people involved may have been on drugs, they may have been high. You know, when it comes to the Pisces energy alone, that is the energy of a whole nother zone. Okay, that is the energy of a whole nother realm. Okay, and a lot of times, you know, for the less evolved souls to access these realms, it requires some type of mind altering, mood changing substance. Okay, this is the lower vibration of Pisces energy. Okay, and when Taurus is rising, Pisces energy is in the 11th house of friendships, group activities. Now, mind you, there were 3 people involved, 3 suspects involved, and 1 is still at large. Okay, so this one that's still at large, because it was a group crime, it was a group involved, definitely an 11th house Pisces energy. Okay, so when Pisces is in the 11th house, we got to find out what's going on in Pisces house so we can get a clue on the nature of this group, this clique. Because 11th house is the house of cliques, groups, circles, gangs. Okay? Anything that requires more than one individual. Okay? It's teamwork. This was teamwork. Okay? So we have Aries in the 12th house. Okay? Aries, I want to say, is going to represent the individual that's at large, the one that we can't find. Okay? Because Aries represents the self. It represents the solitary one. Represents one, the first, the one and only. Okay? And there's only one and only person that's still missing in this case. Okay? So the one and only energy is in Pisces house. Okay? So when it's in Pisces house, I want to say that's who we're talking about. All right? Now, being that these were juveniles, Okay, being that these were juveniles, let's see what's going on in the house of youth and the house of death. Okay, now the house of death was Sagittarius energy. The house of death is the 8th house. When Cancer is in the 3rd house, Sagittarius is in the 8th house. Okay, now Mercury, on the day that Mr. Leroy Ramos was killed, Mercury was in Sagittarius, and Mercury rules the 3rd house. Mercury rules travel, transportation. It rules the 3rd house. And Mercury was in the house of death on the day that Mr. Ramos was killed. And it was in Sagittarius's energy, which is in the 8th house. Now, I'm going to pull a planet. And this planet is going to give us a clue on where we can most likely and how we can most likely tune into the energies that will help us locate this missing individual. Now, this is Uranus in the 5th. Now, I want you to see how the magic unfolds, okay? Because like I said, I was getting ready to look in the house of youth and then the house of death because we're dealing with juveniles. It just so happened the Uranus card came out in the house of youth, okay? And it came out in reverse. So did this card. It came out in reverse. So Uranus is the planet that rules the 11th house that I was talking about, which is in Pisces. Okay, the 11th house is in Pisces when Cancer is in the 3rd house. Okay, Uranus represents group activity, rebellious activity. These were definitely rebellious youth, and they were not good rebellious. There is a such thing as the good rebellious youth. That's when Uranus is right side up. That's when Uranus energy is inventive, innovative. They rebel against tradition to be free for the right reason. But when Uranus shows up in reverse in the house of children, because the 5th house is the house of children, okay? So these are rebellious children. They are rebelling, and it's not for a good reason. You know, they just out here doing stupid shit for stupid reasons. Okay, to kill somebody, you know, because you didn't have $2.50. It's kind of stupid. Okay, this deck, who I'm gonna pull from. Something is telling me to pull from a who deck. Because keep in mind, we're still looking for this individual. Okay, because where is Leo at? Being that Uranus showed up in Leo's house, the rebellious child, the rebellious children, Leo is in the 4th house, Leo energy. So we're talking about a rebellious child that just may be hiding out at home. Okay, this child's parent, this child is at home with their family here in Atlanta. Okay, and their parents don't even know that they was involved in this situation. That's what I want to say right now, but I'm going to continue to pull cards because that might change. But that's what I'm seeing right now, you know, although it might change. Okay. Also, I didn't mention the 5th house, Virgo is here. Virgo energy is here. And I'm not saying that one of these children may be a Virgo, but possibly the missing one might be a Virgo. But I'm seeing Virgo, Pisces, and Aries energy in the picture. Okay, possibly Taurus. Okay. Also, Okay. Now, we're getting somewhere. Okay. The employee card showed up in the 11th house, and it showed up in reverse. And I just got finished saying Virgo is on the 5th house. This particular rebellious child is has Virgo energy. That doesn't make them a Virgo, but they have Virgo energy. Virgo energy represents the employee. Virgo energy represents work. It represents everything that involves the 6th house. And it's no wonder that the 11th house that I was talking about, where Pisces is at, okay, the employee showed up. But this was an employee that probably lost their job. Okay? This was an employee that probably lost their job. Okay? I'm also seeing Libra energy. I'm definitely seeing Libra energy. I'm seeing, let's go to the search party right here. Okay? Somebody's wearing a white t-shirt. Okay? It's a white t-shirt, but there's some other colors involved too. It's like a multicolored outfit, but white is the dominant color. Okay, this person isn't even matching. Okay, they have like all kind of colors, but the dominant color that I'm seeing is white. Okay, the prime suspect is hiding here in the 1st house. The 1st house is Taurus. And it's hiding in Taurus energy. They may be a Taurus. What's going on in Taurus's house? Gemini. So they may be hiding in the local environment. Yep. They may be hiding in a secure place in the local environment. Okay, possibly at home. Like they're not even coming outside. Like they are hiding either at a neighbor's house, but they're definitely at somebody's house. They're going to be found. Oh, they're going to be found. They're hiding in a local neighborhood. They're going to be found. Yeah, they're going to be found. Okay. And also, I want to give you a side note. Before I started to do the reading, and before I lit the candle, before I even turned on the camera, I put my crime deck aside. I have a crime deck right here that I put aside. But when I put it aside, because I was like, we already know what the crime was. The crime was the shooting of a bus driver. So there's no need to pull a crime. So when I was trying to shuffle it, I opened up the deck, and the card that I glanced at said racism, hate crime, and racism. Okay, but then I was like, well, no. And then something told me, well, maybe I should pull a crime deck because racism and hate could be involved, But then I was like, well, no, I'm not going to pull a crime because the crime was the killing of a bus driver. But who knows? I just want to bring it up that I did pull a racism and hate crime card. Well, I didn't pull it. I cut the deck at the racism and hate point. But I didn't pay it no mind. I just put the crime deck aside because I made up my mind to not use the crime deck because we already know what the crime was. Okay? But I do want to pull from my what deck. My what deck. Okay? Because something is telling me, and then I'm going to pull some letters to help us locate to help us locate something just came to me. The suspect may be wearing green. Yep. The suspect may be wearing green. I'm seeing 3 colors. I'm seeing white, I'm seeing green, and I'm seeing red. White, green, and red. Okay. Tribe. Yeah, this is a clique. This is a gang. This is a gang. Look at that. This is gang related. That's popular in Atlanta. This is a gang related crime. You know, and there's an employee involved, but this employee must have lost their job. Okay, this employee that had a job, that's a part of the gang, they kind of lost the job. Okay, and but I mean, I don't think that they lost the job and now they hurting for 250. You know, but let me tell you something. There are these young people in Atlanta, because recently, a guy was shot at the train station, Midtown train station, because these boys asked to use his charger and he said no. And they shot him. Yes, they shot him in the head, the face. I don't think he died, but they shot him. And then this bus driver being killed for 250. Like, they are killing people for stupid stuff. Like, really, really stupid stuff. But this is a gang. Okay, these boys are a part of a gang. And they are a part of a successful gang. Like, this gang, they have succeeded in their crimes. Like, they have been getting away with their crimes. Yes, they have been getting away with their crimes. Okay, this is a very violent gang. Okay, um, this is a very violent gang. These children don't even respect their parents, their elders. Like, they are very violent. They have no home training. Um, right now the moon is in Aries. They just might locate the suspect because the moon is in Aries. And like I told you, Aries is in the 12th house. Okay, Aries energy is the energy of the missing person. I'm not saying that they are in Aries. They might be in Aries, but that is the energy of the missing person. That's why I'm seeing red. But see, Taurus is rising, and the prime suspect is hiding here. And Taurus colors are green. That's why I'm also seeing green. Okay? I'm seeing ways to identify the suspect. We don't have any names, no ages, or anything, but I am seeing green. Anywhere there's Taurus energy, no matter what house it's in, there's always green involved, something green involved. And I'm also seeing white because the rebellious child, the dominant color is white because Virgo is on the at the door of the house of children, and Virgo rules white. Okay, but this is Leo's house. Okay, so Leo's house represents bright colors. golds, yellows, oranges. Okay. So it may be pastel, like pastel colors, but then you have Uranus there. Okay. Uranus there is also the reason why there's a lot of mixed matches going on. Like they're not even matching. The style is just off. Like it's very out of the box. Okay. Like these are the kids that probably walk around with their pants hanging off their ass, underwear showing. Um, yeah, because Uranus is upside down. So, but anyway, I'm going to keep this reading on file. If you would like a personal reading with me, um, reach out to me in my email, which is in the link below. Don't forget to go watch my tutorial video as well. So that way you can look up any of the symbols that you see on this card and you can pretty much formulate a reading for yourself, and see what you come up with when you connect the dots. I just gave the basic general reading of the cards that was pulled. Okay. If you or anybody um, feels like this resonates with you or something that you may know and you want to reach out to me, reach out to my email, or we could talk about it in the comments. Okay. Also, if you or anybody that you know is in the middle of a situation where there's a crime involved, people have lost their lives, and you don't see any justice, nobody's trying to help you with your case, or you probably can't afford it, and you believe that I can help you, reach out to me in my email as well. I love what I do.